Hello, I'm Jeanit Kayani and welcome back to the Jaywalking Show. This is the 7th episode, and in this episode, I'm going to discuss a topic that is very near and dear to my heart because this concept changed my life. I'm talking about the concept of Stoicism. Stoicism is something that the elders looked for in their kings and soldiers in the Roman Empire. Stoicism is something that separated Greek philosophers and thinkers from the normal crowd. Stoicism is the element which Seneca used in his letters to get his point across and still be considered as a dominating figure. Stoicism builds character. It makes weak men into dominating masculine figures. To clarify it further, let me use the definition of Stoicism. Let me be exact. Stoicism is the endurance of pain or hardship without the display of feelings and without complaint. What I mean by this is, Stoicism is a mentality. It's a mindset which people like world leaders, kings, successful people use. They tend to not show emotion. They do feel emotion, but they tend to not show it to the world. They pick and select very carefully who to show the emotions to. Like your closest circle, your parents, your family, your friends, your closest friends. Later in this episode, I will also be stressing on the fact which Seneca mentioned in his letters on how to pick friends and how to embrace them. For example, you won't go to a fake friend who you think is fake to share your deepest concerns, while you will talk to one of your closest friends like you talk to yourself. That is what Seneca mentioned in one of his letters. Talking about Stoicism, we constantly hear this term called the Sigma mentality, which social media is popularizing and pushing forward right now, so to say. But I would say, after my years of research on this and using Stoicism in my life, that Sigma mindset is pure bullshit. Because, see, I like the characters. I love Patrick Bateman. I love the Batman. I love Tyler Durden. But the mindset which the social media accounts, so to say, are imposing on the content consumers like us who scroll every day for the little release of dopamine, they have been feeding us false realities. So for example, the one big point of difference between Sigma mindset and Stoicism is that Sigma mindset says that you have to shut yourself off from the world. Take ashwagandha pills. Be yourself in private. Don't go out in the world. Stay off grid and work on yourself. It's like ghost everyone and work on yourself. But Stoicism is quite the opposite. Stoicism says, provide and protect, show gratitude, practice mindfulness. Stoicism is all about, obviously as I mentioned, providing and protecting. So a stoic person will not shut himself off from the world, but in private he will also keep growing while providing and serving the people around him. So again, taking the example of Seneca in one of his letters mentioned, not his letters, his introduction of his book, that he suffered from a variety of diseases, mental, physical, emotional, all of that. But the only thing that kept him from killing himself is the thought of his father not being able to bear the loss. So that is what Stoicism is. Thinking of people around you and not shutting yourself off completely from them. Hence, I think that the Sigma mindset is pure bullshit. Sigma mindset is basically Stoicism, but they have added their masala on top of it to make it more attractive for the young generation to consume as content. The young generation is now addicted to this content because of this masala. I think social media creators, among them, there are very few actual Stoic personalities through which you can actually learn about Stoicism. For example, various different episodes on the Joe Rogan Experience, where with Elon Musk, with Kanye West, how they dealt with failures. People like Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate till some extent, Chris Bumstead, one of my idols, who tore his bicep and still won the Olympia, the Mr. Olympia Classic Physique for the 4th time. All of these are my idols because they encroach true stoicism, which is not showing feelings and not bragging about discipline. One of the biggest points that Marcus Aurelius mentions in his meditations is to not show off your discipline. One of the points that Marcus Aurelius mentions in his meditations is to not show off your discipline. Keep it to yourself, work on yourself, and still help others. That is what Chris Bumstead did. That is why I took his example. Stoicism as a whole has its roots from Greek mythology, Roman mythology, and even in Hindu mythology. From tales of Ramayana, Mahabharata, you can see true stoics at work, due to which the people under them and the people around them grew. So now on, this video will be a how-to guide on stoicism. How to become a stoic. Social media has been imposing and implying that to become a true stoic, to become a true sigma, you have to change your entire personality. Become dark and mysterious, wear a black hoodie, a trucker hat, and shut yourself off from the world. Be working on yourself in the corner. But that is not true. Stoicism is not that. Stoicism is basically a mindset which encourages discipline. What stoicism entails is basically discipline. Discipline in all aspects of human being. So what stoicism is it basically tells you how to control your emotions, how to stay on track, how to have direction, how to have gratitude, how to be the best self, the physical self, the mental self, the emotional self, how to be the best self. So for example, say I bang my hand on this bed. It does not mean that I'm not feeling pain. Stoicism does not say that you won't feel pain altogether. I will feel pain, but remember, these are muscles. These are muscles. Learn to control them. Do not show off to the world that you cannot bear pain, because in human endeavor towards success, pain is the only constant. Pain and change, of course, but change requires pain. Failures, physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain. All of this has to be controlled. You should not project your entire true self to the world. Now, this does not mean creating a fake image. You can still be yourself out to the world. Speak your mind. But of course, be politically correct. But speak your mind. Be yourself. Just all the negative parts of you, keep them hidden. So going back to the definition, stoicism means not showing feelings of pain out to the world. The biggest guide to handle pain is to condition your body and to condition your mind. Seneca says that we treat our bodies rigorously, we train them rigorously so they won't be disobedient to our mind. Our bodies can achieve way more than we think. All we have to do is convince our mind that it is achievable. We have to see the vision clearly, and to project ourselves towards the vision, we need to convince our mind. Stoicism is a discipline of human being. Stoicism branches out to two main sayings. They are Latin sayings. One is memento mori. Punisher fans, of course, including me, would know that memento mori means that death is inevitable. Again, like the season finale title of The Punisher, memento mori means death is inevitable, so you have to work today. Do not procrastinate. Do not wait for something to happen, to something to come your way. Work towards it starting now. The second aspect of stoicism is amor fati. Amor fati means that whatever happens, happens for a reason. Not good, but happens for a reason. That reason could be bad or good, of course, but that will shape your future self. Amor fati means that if an event occurs, You have to accept it and move on. There is nothing else you can do. Over the course of the past 1 year, on social media especially, you would have heard this phrase, "it is what it is." This is the one phrase that saved my life. I am here because of that one phrase. That one phrase entails acceptance. Acceptance of who you are, acceptance of your current situations, acceptance of all the problems you have, and just look at the solution. See, for example, I go to the gym, of course. I love working out. But if I get a fracture here somehow, an accident, I won't crib about it. What if I did not cross the road that way? What if I put my dumbbell down that way? It won't make sense. You can't change the past. You don't have a freaking time machine. So, what you do is, it is what it is. Move on. Work towards recovery. Take calcium supplements or whatever your doctor prescribes. Work towards it. If you can, go out for walks to still stay fit. So what we're doing here is creating solutions and not cribbing about the problem. This one tip will definitely change your entire life because it has changed mine. Now, one of the biggest questions. I have had this question in my mind for a very long time when I was starting my self-help journey. Self-help as in developing myself, of course. Why become stoic? Why change yourself? Why not just be yourself? Because you will work towards success only when your mindset changes. Mindset plays a very, very important role, much more than you think. If I use this bed, for example, to just sit here all day, to lie down, to scroll on Instagram, to scroll on Reels, there would be nothing that I would achieve except that little release of dopamine, which is only making my mental state worse and worse. I took this decision to use this bed as a set for my podcast because I want to work towards this podcast. I want to have a discipline going on around this room. I want to have a positive energy in this room. And Stoicism helped me to understand that take action. Again, memento mori. Take action. Also, another reason why become stoic. In your future, you will have to keep your emotions aside to take a decision. Say that you're starting a business with your friends, but your friend is not helping you at all in the business. He is not productively contributing anything to the cause of your business. You will have to keep your emotions aside and take a business decision to break ties with that friend or fire him with the consultation of the board of directors. You will have to keep your emotions aside. Also, for many instances, you will have to say no. I feel the only thing that separates successful people from struggling people, I'm not saying that normal people, struggling, like still working towards success, the only thing that separates them is the ability to say no. I will be covering how to say no, the ability to say no in one of the future episodes, so stay tuned. But for now, let's just focus on this one concept. Saying no is a sign of your confidence in yourself. This is what Stoicism entails. Keep your emotions aside, keep your overthinking aside, and say no to where you feel is right. Again, coming back to the question, do you need to change your entire personality? Absolutely not. You can still go around, ask my friends. I'm still the same Jineet, but with a different mentality. If I get hurt in public, if I say I stub my toe or a chick that I like rejects me, I have been known to not show emotion. Again, to train this, it did not come to me overnight. To train this, I again used activities that helped me strengthen my discipline. For example, cold showers. Cold showers are not pleasant. Warm showers are comfort. I had to create this mentality. I had to get out of my comfort zone to go in a cold shower. And when those cold showers started to become comfortable, I sensed something wrong because comfort kills success. So then I started to think, let's not change our facial expressions. Again, going back to the point where these are all muscles. Control them. I went in a cold shower smiling. I stayed smiling and I came back smiling. This is not creepy at all. This is just a activity to increase your discipline and your sense of control, so to say. Smiling. Don't change your facial expressions. Not like, it's cold. Don't do that. Those are one of the activities that I did. Again, another activity that I did, which was extremely effective, is I started to work when I was the laziest. During the day, afternoons used to be the dip in my energy because I came back from uni. I was tired. I sat on my bed. After maybe say 10 minutes on scrolling on reels and doing mindless bullshit, I just got up and started working on projects, assignments, say this podcast, planning. This helped me way too much, and I must say that getting out of the comfort zone is actually fun. You will see yourself growing in the mirror. If you see yourself in the mirror, before and after doing all these activities, before you would see your body, how you're dressed, how your hair looks. But after you build confidence, you build discipline, you'll start to kind of stare yourself in the eyes, not creepily, but kind of judging yourself that where are you going, and thinking about all of your decisions, and just look. Don't think about anything. Just think about what you have done, what you are doing, what you will do. It kind of enforces direction. And I'm sorry if this video turns you into a psychopath. That is not my intention. But then again, what is psychopathic behavior? I love this one quote from Lex Luthor from the movie Batman vs Superman. Psychotic is a 3-syllable word too big for little minds. Rewind that and play that again. Now coming to the end of this video, I want to put you on a correct path. So these are some of the books I read. Reading helps. Reading helps a ton. YouTube videos will not help you as much as reading does, because all of that is information. While I speak, I make jokes. It's a waste of time. While you read, it's all information. So there are a few books that I absolutely loved, and they are these books. Rate the transition down in the comments. My favorite book, first of all, let's go with Seneca. These are the letters of a stoic. Seneca used to impart wisdom. At one point of time, he was one of the biggest advisors to the king in the empire. So all of these letters are his letters to his peers, to the king, to his subordinates, to his superiors. And it kind of shows the ideas, what is going on in the head of a true stoic. And it's the same book which mentions how he didn't kill himself because he was thinking of how his father would not bear the loss. It is in the introduction itself. The next book, one of my favorite books. I keep reading this again and again and again. I'm never going to give this book away because I want to keep this book forever. I have annotations and a lot of stuff going on inside this book. This is Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. This is an actual guide to how to become a stoic. It is a how-to book. Another book, The Art of War. This book teaches you how to be calm, how to be composed, how to not express your feelings, but to look at the emotions and feelings of your enemies and how to capitalize on them. This is an amazing book. These are my top 3 books, and I'll be running through the rest of the books very quickly. Fear. Of course, the name suggests conquer fear and be more confident about yourself. 100 World's Greatest Speeches. This has speeches from Hitler, Gandhi, Roosevelt, biggest dictators, so to say, the great American presidents like Abraham Lincoln. Ooh, I should have put this in my top 3. One of the books that actually changed my life. Actually. This book has made me realize that not everything is important. Think about where you guide your attention to. This book has taught me just how to not give a fuck. It's not a big deal to not care. But put your attention through different channels which are actually contributing to your growth and development, and channels which actually matter, not random concepts of concern. Another book, Ravan. Of course, this entails the story of Ravan, the enemy of Aryavarta. It shows the mentality of Ravan and how he used to deal with failures, how he used to think basically. Again, one of the very famous people who are seen as stoics and work towards self-help and growth mindset, David Goggins, can't hurt me. He was morbidly obese, and within a very short time, because he wanted to join the Navy SEALs, he transformed himself completely. He also holds the world record for the highest number of pull-ups. I'm sorry, I don't remember the number of pull-ups, but all I know is that he did the giant number statista of pull-ups in 17 hours continuously, which is crazy. His mindset, his direction, discipline, commitment, it reflects a true stoic. The last book I have on this list is Leaders, Myth and Reality, General Stanley McChrystal. If you have watched the movie War Machine on Netflix, Brad Pitt in the movie is playing General Stanley McChrystal. He shows what it is to be a true leader, and going back to the point where I mentioned that elders looked for stoicism as a characteristic in their leaders and their kings, this book will help you to lead, basically. Lead your organization, your team, assert dominance basically. So yeah, that's it for the books. I'll put a link down below in the comments for all of these books, and these are my affiliate links, of course. So if you buy these books from these links, it would obviously help me, and I'll reinvest everything into this channel and put out more sensible and productive information for you to grasp. So yeah, that's it for today. This episode ends on stoicism. Remember, emotions can be controlled. This hurts like shit, but emotions can be controlled. I choose not to show it on my face. So there you go. Tune in for the next episode next Friday. Thank you and goodbye.